W end of week podcast.
The best
We are
time of the
back.
week.
The best time of the week indeed.
Friday.
It is Friday. And as we promised, we are going to be talking about aliens for a second time. And you know what? We might do a third or a fourth time too. It's our show. We can do whatever we want. But
That's all I'm actually good for.
no. You're great, Boris. So anyway, we switched out Rob for part 2 with Jared. So
Ahoy.
what's going on, Jared? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good
Doing
to
great?
be back.
Good to be back. Good to have you back. Boris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It is Friday, end of the week, end of a long week.
It was a pretty long week.
Yeah,
You're right.
a whole 5 days.
And what time of the week is it, everybody?
It's the end of the week.
The best time of the week.
Both are true. Both can be true at the same time. All right, so like I said, we are going to be talking about aliens again because I think there's a lot of stuff that we could have gotten into in more depth, but we didn't want to, keep it super long.
Yeah, this isn't a documentary. This is a podcast.
But we can make a documentary if we wanted to.
Yeah, that's too much work.
So, just because we have a new member of this discussion, Jared, do you believe in aliens?
I do believe that life exists. Is that aliens are basically outer life, or life in of other parts of the universe or of the galaxy, right?
Yep.
I do believe that there are.
You think there's some aliens?
I do.
Do you think they're intelligent?
Um,
Or what percent of your confidence do you think they're intelligent?
I mean, what do you mean by like intelligence? I wouldn't say that they're super advanced. Because I've heard theories that there are extraterrestrial. There is alien life, but it's an interdimensional. It's not like you can't see them. Like it's like the fourth dimension. It's like you can't see them in fourth dimension or something along those lines. Like they're out there, you just can't see them. Like our senses, we just can't perceive them. But I mean, with intelligence, yeah, I would say yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Now, who would win in a fight, you or an alien?
me.
Okay. Now,
More confident
So-
than me. Holy shit.
what do you guys think is scarier if we do find intelligent life in the universe, and we know that we're not alone, or we don't find intelligent life in the universe, and we are alone? Which of those two do you think are scarier? Boris, you can go first.
So I've thought a lot about this one. Like in my classes, I took a class called Extraterrestrial Life, and we discussed this exact topic for 42 minutes. And
Sounds great.
Yeah, it was a very good class because it was like time to chill, but definitely caused some existential dread. And I've decided that knowing that they do exist for definitive 100% they definitely exist is worse, just because of how much more significant that is to like our belief systems in place currently as a society. Not my personal beliefs, but just in general, people believe that they have purpose, and finding out that there's alien life somewhere else that isn't Earth would just crush that purpose and make us realize that we're just Sachs chemicals.
True. And stardust.
Sachs chemicals, stardust, chemical reactions in a very complicated way.
What do you think is scarier, Jared?
Can you repeat the question?
So, do you think it would be scarier if we found aliens and we realized that we're not alone in the universe, or that we never found aliens and we realized that we are alone in the universe?
Can you repeat it one more time?
Okay. Do you think it's scarier to find aliens or to not find aliens?
Find them.
You think it's scarier to find them?
I do.
Why?
Because if we find them, how would they react towards us?
I don't know.
It could be really good or it could be really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you have to worry about that, it's like, do we have to worry about that or do we not have to worry about that? And I think finding extraterrestrial life, then I definitely think that option could be one. But totally, I definitely think finding alien life versus not finding alien life, I definitely think is scarier.
Okay. I think that not finding it is scarier.
Why?
Because then it's just us.
But
in
it's
an entire universe, it's literally just us.
But right now, don't we already think that it's just us? Like we're living as if it's just us. So nothing has changed if we don't find them.
So something did change. That if there's nothing else other than us, and I'm making the bold assumption that we are we are here because a random series of events caused life to form on Earth. if there is no life anywhere else in the universe that's intelligent, that means there's something that kills life at a certain point of development.
Oh no, I mean I was just saying like if there's literally nothing, it's just
Oh.
us.
Yeah, that's what
Like like life happened once and
Yes.
that's it. Okay.
Yeah. To me, that's terrifying.
Okay.
I don't know
Wait,
why. I
if
just,
life didn't happen, then it's terrifying?
no, like if we're the only thing out there,
Well, why would that be terrifying?
because then once we die, like once humanity ends, that's it. There's just nothing in the universe anymore.
Well, there's an after. Well, don't you do you believe in like an afterlife? Well,
Oh
yeah,
well, that's a
like,
different
yeah,
topic.
Yeah.
But I'm just speaking on just like a scientific level, like that is kind of scary.
There'll always be water bears.
That's true. There will always be water bears. They're on the moon.
They'll live forever.
All right. So then we had one more thing that we want to bring up, which is kind of like it is related to aliens if you phrase it a certain way. And again, I'm not saying I believe this, but it's an interesting thing to think about. So we're getting really good with VR and, you know, computer graphics and stuff like that. So if 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 300 years from now, we can create a literal simulation and it would look exactly like this, feel exactly like this, sound exactly like this, does that mean that we are in a simulation right now?
Can I go second for this one? Or
Oh, do you want me to?
what do you think, actually? Since you proposed the question, I'd like to know your initial thoughts.
So, again, I'm not saying I believe this, but, I mean, the argument for it is that if we have the ability to create something like that, then if the universe has been around for trillions and trillions of however many years, that a civilization had created that prior, so that we may be living in a simulation right now.
And do you think that if we die, then we exit the simulation? We die in this life, then we exit?
Well, maybe we don't even exist.
Well, we have to exist in order to create in order to be in something.
So what if I exist, but you don't? Or you exist, and I'm just a simulation?
Oh, so wait, you're
Like, this whole
I'm the
world is the simulation, and you are the NPC. You're, like, the person that is part of it. Everything else other than you is fake, except for you.
I mean, it's kind of. I feel like if you're like a what was it? Would you say an APC? You said.
Like
NPC.
NPC, like,
Oh, and okay. I feel like if you're an NPC, you're kind of going with the simulation. But I feel like me, I have like free will and thought, and I could do whatever like I would want to do. Whereas I feel like an NPC would be kind of be instructed what to do, or
what if
be
you're
a
the
part
only
of-
one?
If I'm the only one.
Yeah,
We're
like
NPCs.
Neo.
We have no free will. We don't know what's happening in your head. It could be the vice versa. You could be an NPC who's just so developed.
So
NPC
I'm in the
means computer user, pretty much. I don't actually know what the acronym stands for, but like, if you're playing an RPG game, they're the people that give you quests. But
So I'm an NPC that has like free thought and like a will, or has its own independent will or and thought.
yep,
I mean, that'd be interesting.
I mean, it is like high. It's hard to get a grasp on it. Like, I know what he's talking about because I've like looked the stuff up. But and again, I'm not saying I necessarily believe that, but it's just an interesting thought experiment, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough alcohol in me to really delve in.
I think I need something other than alcohol for that.
So, what do you think?
I think it's either 100% yes or 100% no. If something like that is possible, like we create a computer the size of Jupiter, like so many times larger than Earth. We use a ton of planets to grab the silicone or whatever the future technology is, and we create a planet-sized computer. And that computer has the the hardware to create our brains, pretty much replicate what our brains can do in computers. And if you can do that for one brain, you can do that for infinite brains. Just make the computer bigger. If that simulation can run 1 million simulations, like when we run our like calculus through a computer, it can do like 1,000 times in a nanosecond. So it could run 1,000 simulations in a nanosecond if we make the computer big enough. And if we can do that once, then our reality is one of like 1 million.
Do you think that the metaverse is leaning towards that direction?
No, I think the metaverse is more just going to become an ad campaign and like just going to become a virtual place to buy ads.
You think so?
Yes. I think it'll be like if you've ever watched like a Sword Art Online, like a dystopian world where you can't leave the metaverse, I believe that it'll be something like that, but they'll bring the metaverse into real life, and it'll just be all ads.
But isn't the metaverse like a virtual world?
Yep. And it's owned by Meta, formerly known as Facebook. That happened recently for anyone watching this video now. But they're an ad company, so I believe it'll all just be ads. But this is more like they're able to simulate like me picking up this can and putting it down and it making a noise and each of us hearing that noise. That's the kind of simulation I'm referring to. Where it's like my memories could have been created 4 seconds ago and I was just spawned into existence forming the sentence. And it's like, it either happens always or never at all. Because there could be a theoretical limit on how much we can compute.
Oh, yeah. Like Moore's Law and whatnot.
Yeah, but also just maybe we can't. Maybe there's not enough materials in the like reachable universe to collect a computer that big. Or maybe the computer will just like not work for some reason we don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there'd be like an advanced AI?
I don't think it would be AI. I think it would be something similar to AI, but like 3 generations after what we currently call AI, if it's possible. And it would have to be a really big computer.
Do you think that's the future of civilization?
Assuming nothing crushes civilization, yeah. Like, but again, it could, in theory, like there could be a physical, like physics says this isn't allowed limit on what we can compute. And we just don't know because we haven't hit it yet. But it's either like 100%, like we're in a simulation because there's millions of other simulations happening right now, and us being in one of those is just more probable than us being in the not simulation. Because we are just numbers.
Yeah, fun stuff, right, Jared? Are you happy you came on this episode?
Difficult stuff. It's difficult to understand.
Can we add like a trigger warning before the start of this episode?
Yeah.
Because I feel like people will like actually start hating this if we don't.
Yeah, we're not advocating that we live in a simulation. Just know that. It's it's a fun thought experiment to think about.
Yeah.
We all have these existential crises before.
Yes, exactly. But that was good. I would love to do more episodes like this. Doesn't have to be about aliens, but just scientific theories and stuff like that. So let us know if you guys like it, and we'll do more. I personally like it. I think Boris likes it. How do you like it, Jared?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's hard to understand, because when it's like my first time talking about it like seriously in depth, so it's definitely difficult to understand, but it's fascinating stuff.
I think it's amazing to have that perspective though on the set where like I literally majored in it. Mike is interested in it, and it's like and you know what you've just heard from general like public knowledge. So it's like a good gradient of communication where like no one person is talking to the audience and they just don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely fascinating stuff.
So hopefully we'll do more videos like this, and hopefully you guys like it. Let us know down below what you think of any of this or just the topics in general.
If you guys don't let us know, we just won't do more. So you got to let us know what topics you want to hear. You got to like, subscribe, share this, have your friends join.
Yep.
Fuck you, Mary.